Jen's good at that stuff. Plus, Macy always says thank you and writes really heartfelt birthday cards. Jen wrote Macy's college essay after she was finished with her own. Goldie's, too, but Harding wouldn't let her. Macy had said thank you and even given Jen some money, but it was pointless in the end because Macy decided not to go to college, which Jen strongly disapproved of. Macy said something like, "We're not all geniuses like you," and fair point. Jen let it go. "I know," Jen repeats. Macy ties up her hair in Jen's damp towel and glares. Her makeup is smudged at the corner of her eyes, making it look like she's been dragged from the water. She raises her arm and points accusingly at Jen's window, mouth a furious line. "Listen, dumbass," she demands, voice rising. She's almost hysterical, but Macy's like that, easily ruffled. Jen's not. Jen's a pragmatist. Macy finishes, "You're not listening. I'm saying it worked." Jen's gaze follows Macy's outstretched arm. Through the open window and the branches of the tree just outside, she can see the pitch-dark blanket of sky. The black of it trembles a little with stars flickering like they're about to blow out. When she pokes her head outside, she sees that the stars are moving, drawn like gnats to a wound, forming a circle. A big, empty circle, at the center of which should have been... "Macy," says Jen. "I fucking told you," Macy says. The stars circle the nothingness like a hungry, hollow mouth. In the center, there is no moon. Yesterday, Macy. Summer had come slow as honey, and twice as sticky, dripping over the island like the afterthought of a particularly wet spring. The tides never seemed to go all the way down, and the edge of Macy's yard was constantly murky with salt water that climbed over the retaining wall. Before Macy's dad left, he used to spend the entire back half of winter on a Sisyphean mission to reinforce the wall enough to keep the water out when the spring rain came. It never worked. Now, Macy's dad lived in an apartment in Savannah on the 4th floor, nowhere near the water's edge. When Macy went to visit, he talked about his new digs like it was some kind of party house instead of an objectively depressing old man bachelor pad. Still, Macy always humored him and tried so hard to look impressed that sometimes she accidentally circled back around to mocking. Whenever he asked about the house, Macy lied and said that Rick was doing all that stuff now, even though he wasn't, and the yard was going to shit. But Macy didn't want to tell her dad that, because it would either make him happy, which would feel shitty, or make him sad, which would feel worse. Anyway, the whole neighborhood hesitated to bring their boats out from the safety of the marinas, wary of storms. They were bad this year, worse than ever. Thunder every day, it seemed like. Macy liked to sit on the covered porch and watch them roll over the water. The channel that connected Broad Creek to the Calabogie Sound. There was an abandoned boat that had been slowly sinking for most of Macy's life, and this spring had finally sunk it. Now it was nothing but a broken-off mast sticking out of the water, sometimes with a bird perched on it. Macy's mom used to complain that it was an eyesore. But since she started dating Rick, she's decided that she's into nature or whatever. And now whenever they see the bird, she'll say bullshit like, "Nature is healing," and Macy has to be like, "Yeah, totally." Otherwise, it will turn into a whole conversation about whether Macy is trying to hurt her mother's feelings in order to punish her for the divorce. Macy isn't trying to punish anybody for the divorce. She just doesn't think a bird on a decomposing boat is a sign that nature is on the upswing. Still, she knows what her mother wants her to say, so usually Macy will go ahead and say it. Once she figures out what people want from her, it's just easier to give it to them. Goldie's parents didn't give a shit about their boat and had
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.